Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy. Welcome back to more Chrono Trigger. Last time, we suffered the fate of death. This time, we suffer a fate worse than death. That's right, we're gonna be tackling more DS exclusive content here today. Alright. This is gonna suck, we're all gonna hate it, and you're going to see why I have been so critical of the new content, even if you thought the Monster Battle Arena wasn't that bad and was pretty easy to ignore. But maybe some joy can be derived in my suffering, and I promise I'll at least try to be positive about this whole thing. Wow, I am really not doing a good job of selling this video to you. I apologize. Okay, so getting into what we're doing on a more serious level, there are two gates that have opened up around history. One is in 600 AD. Right over here. Wow, okay, flew right to it. You can only go here after getting the Winged Epic. It otherwise will not be here, and you couldn't even reach it anyway. This is the Lost Sanctum. I like the music so far, and the map already being filled in satisfies my OCD. Ayla smells something. Maybe animal here. Well, since we've come all this way, shall we have a look around? Many monster! Ayla, fight here, lose! No good. All you get is that one little cutscene, and we're all done here. Yeah, wasn't that a terrible area? There was nothing to it. I mean, come on, you could have at least added some random fetch quest to pad out the length. Be careful what you wish for. Next, we're going off to 65 million BC. I just wanted to show what would happen if you visited it in this time period first. Don't at least have the common decency of putting it... Oh, they actually did have the common decency of making it so it's in roughly the same place in both time periods, so never mind. I'm finding more positives than I expected to. One! If we go here now, I guess those monsters haven't had enough time to really reproduce, so it's just kind of empty at this point. I will take the save point really quick. It's nothing. A whole lot of nothing. Nothing at all? Wait, something. Anybody here? Apparently not. But it looks to be a village of sorts, does it not? Mayhap a search will turn up some people. We'll climb up the ladder. And hey, lights on. I didn't know they had invented lights at that point. We got this one thin, one kind of, fat pedestal. I will name them Salt and Pepper. Checked every doorway, and still nothing. This is the very last one, and even still nothing. There's a way out up to the north, and that leads to a place that is known as the Millenia Wood. The official names of these places are a little remote, and, you know, I might not quite all of them right, but we'll see. First off, no person, monster, eat, come on, fight monster, beat all! That's not what you were saying 5 minutes ago when there were only just like 3 more of them compared to this group, Ayla. I'm just saying, look at that, look at him go! He's just doing the windmill over there. These are an Ogan youth, as well as an Ogan youth holding a hammer. These are brand new enemies not seen before, and by that I mean they are shameless palette swaps of enemies we have seen before. But I bring up them being new enemies because they have unique stats, they might have items for you to charm, that guy didn't, and we gotta deal with them. It's sort of like a good old-fashioned exploration of a new dungeon where I'm like, hey guys, sorry, but I gotta have Ayla in the party constantly because I'm not going to let myself miss a single charmable item. Yeah, the good old days. These guys do not seem to have increased defense when they're holding the hammer, so that was pretty pointless there. We're actually not that much higher level than what you're intended to be. I'm not breaking this area too much because you're intended to go through this alongside the end game quests that we did. And usually I would save this one for last whenever I'd play through the game anyway, so we'd be at the same level that we would be at the end of Fiona's quest. And, oh, their matching blue and pink colors are really cute, actually. These are the Slate Imp, which is just a standard physical attacker that we're probably never going to get to see do anything. Oh, wait, no, never mind. The Pink Imp is able to inflict slow and also has a counter on it, which we might see momentarily if we don't kill it right away. You imps are really resilient little buttheads. There we go, there's the counter. It's just a kicking attack that doesn't do all that much. I don't believe either of you have anything to charm. Maybe Ayla can get into charm on the pink one. I like your matching tongue. It's very aesthetically pleasing, and the gene pool was very kind to you in that regard. You shouldn't have anything to charm. Pretty simple. Just your standard physical attacking imps that are thankfully not made of mud. And you know what? In the interest of kind of trying to be a fountain of positivity whenever I can by any means necessary, I am forcing the biggest grin on my face right now as I say this because it's really straining me. Oh, hell no. It's okay, Luminaire is back. First time stretching these bones in this lifetime. I was gonna say that even if this is a palette swap of Guardia Forest and it doesn't have original graphics, seeing essentially a bigger Guardia Forest in Twilight is a beautiful sight. I've praised the pixel artwork of Chrono Trigger before, and that does not change here at all. It's a very nice looking area, if nothing else. I at least have to give it that much. By looking at the map, there is a hidden passageway through here, taking us to this chest we couldn't get at the beginning, containing 20,000 G. Being forward with you in case you don't like what you see and you just want to watch me play this and not, and you don't want to play it for yourself, I just want to say that you don't miss out on a lot from this. You get good equipment, you get lots and lots of money. If you don't feel like you need either of those things, either of those things in a typical playthrough, I suddenly sound like I'm, from New York or something. I just have to insult every state and I haven't really insulted a state in a long time. I think the last one was Alabama when I was doing like a really terrible accent back in Pokemon Emerald. So I really got to catch up on that so I can get on all 50. Anyway, I was saying that if you don't think you need this on a typical playthrough, it's not that bad. You aren't really going to miss out on much. I was able to beat Lavos no problem without it. So here we go. We're going to press X to open the menu. My thumb slipped and I hit that instead. A lot of build up for nothing. We press A on this. What's this? A young seedling. Congratulations! You just came all that way for nothing. That's all there is here. I remember wandering around for several minutes trying to figure out what I had to do to make that sparkle do anything, because, any other time in the game that you see a sparkle, you press A on it and something happens. Be it a switch or a capsule or anything. You go back to town and you find nothing. Still absolutely nothing. So I wandered around there for several minutes wondering what to do. And then I walked through the area again and just so happened to get into a fight with, hello, a new enemy. I skipped over more than I thought. You gotta be really easy on the GPU to render there with your monochromatic scheme. This is an Ogun Chieftain. I almost said Ogre Chieftain. It's got hammer attacks and it can attack in a few different ways with it, but it's not all that different from your bog standard hammer Ogun. Has nothing to give but gratitude. At least it's a nice man and is a good, upstanding citizen as a leader. Whoa! I'm at least impressed with how that looks. Yeah, you don't take hardly any damage from this thing, and I don't even really blame that on being over-leveled because there's no such thing as defense capsules, and we're not that many levels higher than when I would have done this anyway in a standard playthrough. We kill that guy. And by going up again, there's 4 more. And now a cutscene activates. Beat all monster. Go back. Yes, mayhap we overlook something. On my first playthrough, I thought I had done everything here because I got to the end and pressed A on a thing and there was a cutscene. But no, that's not it. The boys and girl are back in town. Doesn't roll off the tongue so well when I try to be factually correct. Not to be here, it seems. Shall we return then? Who's making all that hullabaloo outside? Go on, get yourself eaten by monsters. Serve you right, it will. Oh, there is someone here after all. You are a reptite, are you not? Talking apes! And they stand up on 2 feet! What madness is this? Ape no good. You say bad Ayla. You bad reptite! Well, never minding that, did you not spy any big, strong beasties about? We've slain the monster that lurked in this place. I hope you'll not be missing them. You what?! Oh, you wonderful, beautiful apes! We're free at last, prisoners in our own homes no more, after all these long years of suffering. Come on out, everyone. The monsters are gone for good. This isn't some cruel joke, is it? Is it truly safe? We can come outside? You have our most heartfelt thanks. Who would have dreamt that ape men would come to save us? That's ape woman to you too, man. Our days of cowering in cramped caves are finally at an end. You've done us a great kindness. It's not much, but we'd like to offer you this in thanks. After all you've done, it's the least we can give you. Dragon's Tear! Cause for everyone to celebrate! Well, I mean, provided you have the time and all, but being as strong as you are, I don't suppose you'd be willing to lend an ear when we need some sort of help, would you? We wouldn't ask you to work for free, of course. We're prepared to compensate you for your efforts, and I think it would be worth your while. What do you say? Sure. What's the worst that could happen? I just passed gas while I said yes. Wow, the energy within my body cannot let me lie about this. Excellent. Come and speak to us now and again. Then we'll tell you if you ever have anything you need. Helper uptight? Aelin no understand. The Dragon's Tear is an accessory that boosts critical hit rate by adding 20% over what the current percentage is. So if my critical hit base rate was 10%, it would turn it into 30, for instance. This can be a good accessory. As Ayla gets up in the levels, her critical hit rate can actually get even higher, and it's best to give it to her when that time comes. She has an attack stat of 255, I just realized. That's amazing, with her weapon not even being any result of that boost. That's so cool. I don't think I'll give it to anyone right now. Just so you know, all the equipment in the Lost Sanctum, as well as the Lost Sanctum itself, is exclusive to the DS version and later. There's something I was hoping you would help me with. A legend in our village tells of a tool known as the Golden Hammer, and I'd like you to search for it if you'd be willing. The tales say it's made from the wood of a golden tree, but I'm afraid I can't tell you very much else. Do you suppose you could spare the time to search? Yeah, we'll agree to search for the Golden Hammer. If we talk to this guy, looking for the Golden Hammer, you say, well, there's a patch of golden sand on the flower meadow down in the Great Southern Swamp. Guess that's not what you're looking for, though, is it? Talk to this. If you happen to come across a rusted blade, bring it to me, will you? I'll reforge it for you. This is a shop containing a lot of the usual items. There's the Empyrean blade for Chrono, weaker than the Rainbow, not needed. The Smiter's blade for Frog is stronger than what he's got right now because we don't have the true form of the Masamune. Already got one of those in our inventory, so it's not needed. And I guess we're kind of done with bosses that need the Masamune for a while, so we might as well give that to him. Platinum Vest would be one more piece of that would be one more piece of defense for Marl, but we already have 2 of them in our stock, so no need to buy it. If nothing else, thank you for reminding me to equip the things that I already have and not give you my money. I knew I could count on you, bud. That's the kind of thing that keeps stores in business. You seem to be doing well. If only my daughter had that much energy. Legend of the Golden Hammer. Ah, yes, as I heard long ago, sprinkling golden sand about a young sapling would cause it to produce a golden wood. The hammer is made from that. I love things that sparkle, don't you? Gemstones and such, they're so beautiful. All we're getting are vague hints on things that we're going to be doing in the near future, though narrow passage to the cave was as dark as pitch. Beyond that, well, who could know? The place is so dark you cannot see a thing, but I think there's something hidden there. So we'll go down to the southern swamp, as we were told, and look for that golden dust so that we can grow that little sapling. All of that makes sense. It's not that bad. Yet. That gives us a high potion. We at least get to hear Secret of the Forest again, and there's another new enemy, and another copy of it. And another copy of it. Okay, good. It was getting kind of out of control. These are king frogs. They wore the king's rock and got traded, and now they are polytoad. They're sort of green. They have lightning, too, in their arsenal. And that's not all. They're also able to use water, too, and they can, I think, even confuse. They're very magical enemies, contrary to what you would think. They have nothing to give but gratitude, and they also absorb lightning, so you don't want to attack them with that. Very weak, though. Still not taking hardly any damage. Did 2,000 right there, though. You were taking a lot of damage. Okay, here we'll get to see if there's... Oh, wait, no, never mind. I have a status immunity. How dare you take me for some peasant that doesn't have all status immunity equipment on my entire party? What do you take me for, a level 40? All of you know I'm a level 50 now. What level am I, actually? Oh, I'm a level 60. Never mind. Man, here I was, like, trying to sound all fake intimidating, and I was really intimidating. I didn't even have to fake it. Oh, Okay, so you're based on those really rare enemies from the Black Omen. This here, I think, is a Death Creeper, yeah. Death Creepers are more magical enemies. That there, I believe, is called Dark Flare, which is one of their attacks. They're very weak. They don't need to be hit with magic in order to go down. It absorbs shadow, and it has a counter attack, but aside from that, pretty basic, not as crazy as the really rare enemy in the Black Omen that's a lot like it. At the end of this pathway, 8,000 G. Oh, excuse me. Stupid me for thinking that I could step over a bush. And I really do have a short fuse. I'm sorry. I'm really trying. No, it hasn't really done anything all that bad quite yet. You've just kind of seen in concept what I'm talking about. Turbo Ether. I welcome that. And then a mid potion. Here's that sparkly workly containing a golden sand. And I'll clear the area of enemies, because why not? Oh, good thing I did, because we got more new ones. These are exiles. What? You wouldn't let him live among your people just because he has red eyes? Exile the reindeer. Hey, that's a lot of beef. Okay. They have a physical attack, they use Crimson Rain to sap HP, and they also absorb lightning damage. Seems to be a common trend in the southern swamp. Who knew water was so good at repelling electricity? But going over this way, there's an Athenian water, and it seems like that's it. In this last battle is one more enemy, the Jackpot, which has a different eating animation from the other enemies like it. I believe this also absorbs lightning and just generally has very high defenses compared to everything else. Maybe a water too, just to kind of get things going. They absorb your HP. They can also use Crimson Rain to inflict sap HP, and that's all she wrote. I hope the person who wrote the code for this enemy is female. Fill that pot with water. Make it be the liquid container that it was destined to be. 588 damage. And it's not dead yet. Wow. Had to run into a strong enemy sooner or later, I guess. Went down without much incident after that. Very simple enemy. Chrono got a level up. In the wood, there used to be an enormous tree growing in this wood, but those monsters felled it. What a waste. It was such a strong and stalwart tree. Some, but not all of the enemies come back after leaving the area, even though we were just here, and that sort of thing is not typical of any other place. After all the monsters are dead yet again, sprinkle the gold sand around the sapling. There's naught we can do now but wait. Let us hope it truly grows to be a golden tree. I wonder how many long years it will take. Wait, there was another gate leading here in my own era. What if we were to come through it? 65 million years to grow a tree seems a little optimistic to me, but maybe it'll be enough time. Into the Lost Sanctum in 600 AD. What's the matter? Has something startled you? Talking apes! Hairless talking apes! Run for your lives! Wait. Are you truly talking apes? Why say ape? Ayla person, no ape. I see, so the legend was true after all. What do you mean, Elder? It is a most ancient legend. Long ago, hordes of vicious monsters preyed upon our village, threatening to destroy our people entirely. But just when hope was lost, the most unusual of heroes appeared. Talking apes? None other. And in no time at all, they drove the monsters away and saved the village. So, these apes are the heroes from the legend? I believe they may well be. Pardon me for being so forward, but might we contract your assistance? Contract? I would propose a contract by which we would reward you for your aid on certain tasks and errands which we cannot do ourselves. If you've the strength you seem to have, I think you'd find it a profitable proposition. What do you say? Then we are agreed. And if it is not too sudden, I have a task to ask. I have a task for you already. The monsters in the wood beyond have been growing in number lately. Would you vanquish them for us, brave heroes? What mean vanquish? Mean eat? I've been thinking of taking a walk in the mountains. You should go too. So when they couldn't leave their houses at all, their descendants all looked wildly different and were great in number, and now that they could leave at their house and see the rest of their people, now everybody looks the same? Isn't that kind of the opposite of how it works when you remove incest from the timeline? Neighbor of mine loves to build things, almost as much as he loves to tell me about it. Hasn't anyone else to bother all day? It's been my lifelong dream to build a bridge to span the mountains. I'll do it. You watch. I want to build something that'll last for future generations to use, like a ladder. Incredible, aren't they? Ladders. I was wondering who built them and when. Why don't you stay for the night? You'll feel much better. Thank goodness there is a point to fully heal at. I don't need it right now. I used a shelter a little bit ago, but I still like it. And in the present time, it's not quite so Twilight-y, it's just kind of Guardia Foresty. The enemies have not changed one bit. My theory is the monsters are contrarians and will disagree with the good guys on literally everything, and because we changed the timeline to make the good guys hate incest, now the monsters love it. Before I can open my mouth on this topic again, we were encouraged to kill them all, and so we shall. I'm finding, due to how weak the enemies are, Chrono's counterattack is not as helpful as it typically is. So, Golden Stud, so that we can just spam Luminaire. Ayla can take the Wrath Band. Frog got a level up. And does that mean, yes, Frog has just hit 999 HP, 99 MP. This has happened 2 other times. When Chrono came back to life, he came that way with his additional levels, and Magus just had it by default when he joined up. Oh, Luca and Marl hit it as well off screen. Shoot. Robo, you gotta buck up your ideals. That's so sad that he's the last one to not do it. That's depressing. I'm sorry, Robo. I still like you. I promise. Same secret passages are here. 25,000 G this time. This hidden passageway contains another turbo ether. And at the very end... No shiny tree. Ayla grow. Why no here? Over there. That is the golden hammer. Stop! No run! He should be within the vicinity. We should search the area. You chumps couldn't chase down a pumpkin! How did an Ogan outrun you? This hidden passageway contains a dragon head. With blood dripping and everything? That's a helmet that gives +5 to strength. Lowers defense, however. Chrono doesn't need it. Robo doesn't need it. Ayla doesn't need it. Luca doesn't actually need it, but technically she doesn't have star strength already. Magus, I guess, could get some benefit out of it. Frog would get +3, and Marl, well, we don't talk about Marl having + strength equipment. And the last of the secret passageways has a Mega Elixir. That's actually pretty worthwhile and easy to get. If nothing else, I'd suggest coming for one run of this just so you can get the item chests. There she blows! 5 feet away from where they gave up looking and made me do it. Seriously, look at the map. So the man who stole the golden hammer, his name is Gold the Hammer. He was destined from birthright to steal that hammer, and you dare take it away from him? Contrary to the boss music playing, he's actually not that big of a threat. Attack increased from getting hit, Boulder. It's kind of impressive that he uses a golden hammer as a magic wand, though it doesn't do all that much damage. His attacks don't hit hard, and... yeah, his attacks don't hit that hard. That's the gist of what I had to say about him. I'm gonna do a Frenzy, which actually, that's pretty weak. Maybe he does have pretty good physical resilience from his hammer. Yeah, physical guard weak against magical attacks now. Going for a Thrash. I'm still impressed at how you guys move around while swinging around those big things. Weak against magical attacks. That's my cue to say goodnight. And then Ayla can just be at the ready with a physical attack after they're done electrocuting him. I will admit that Robo's ultimate tech being electrocute's not that great because Magus and Chrono already have light damage very well covered, and you're likely to have either of them in any party. And just the fact that the only dual tech with it is more light damage on top of what Luminaire already did, plus with how expensive it can be, I don't know. Not really so sure if I'm into that anymore. We have subdued him. Now we can take the Golden Hammer. Don't sugarcoat it. You just murdered a man and took his tool. Yeah, see, he's gone. Oh my god. I've said that Robo looks like a backpacker or hiker or something. Look at how his arms move when he runs. If you don't understand what I'm getting at, don't ask. We have vanquished the monsters as promised, Elder Sir. You slew all of them. Heroes indeed. Please take this as your reward. Mega Elixir! Also pretty worth it. That didn't take very long to kill those enemies. I'm sure we'll have other tasks to request of you in the days to come. I hope we can count on your aid. This will assuredly change, but I'm just gonna come out and say what I'm feeling right now. I would absolutely recommend playing everything I've played so far. We've gotten good stuff like Mega Elixirs that aren't renewable, and it hasn't been that much trouble. Returning to the past. Oh my, this is it! The Golden Hammer of Legend! If you give it to me, I will make it worth your while. Thank you ever so much. Please take this in return. 100,000 G! Like I will ever spend that. Thank you ever so much. The Golden Hammer is as glorious as the legends say. And just think, for the rest of his life, he will stroke that thing to sleep. Now, that's only one quest down. There's a lot of them, and that one took longer than I think a lot of other ones will, just because we kind of had to go through and see everything for the first time. So with that one side quest done, we're going to end things off there, and next time on Chrono Trigger, we're going to complete a heck of a lot more than one of these things. See you guys then. Oh, before I go, there's one other alternate timeline that we could have seen at this point that I haven't shown you. It's from the missing stretch of time after coming back from 600 AD and rescuing Marl, but before visiting the end of time for the first time. That entire stretch of gameplay was at the same time as when we were doing the developer's ending, and I wanted to give that attention and not cram multiple endings into one video, so it was the one that I was kind of forced to be sloppy with. That's the alternate timeline that you see right now.